Yeah. Last but not least, Rob Wüst, who has a basically double presentation because he presents about the research, but there's also a major event taking place this summer. Will be a large conference on PICE or long COVID, but also a strong presence of ME/CVS research in the Netherlands. And I think you have 1 or 2 slides on that as well, right? No, I think we have to do with this one, regretfully. Yeah.
All right, so I'll keep. So it's only me between that keeps you away from the drinks. I don't see them. There's more. All right, so there's more to come. No, then I will keep an eye on when the door opens for drinks. I will keep it short and more to the point about the project that we do called MuscleME, skeletal muscle alterations that we see in post-exertional malaise in patients with ME/CFS. The original objectives of the project are listed here. We wanted to essentially see the skeletal muscle abnormalities and the circulatory phenotypes in patients with ME/CFS. Essentially see what happens with induction of post-exertional malaise. I've talked about this before. So we did this now also. We did this already in the post-COVID setting, and we are still ongoing analyzing the ME/CFS cohort. And the last one is the link between autoimmunity, microclots, and skeletal muscle structure and function that we initially proposed. So I'm not going to go through all the results that we collected over the last years, because I have to keep it short, especially in this setting, and keep it simple. One of the things that I want to highlight here is that at the start of the project, when we set this up, we were seeing different types of microclots in the skeletal muscle as well as in the blood, and now we collaborated with a group in South Africa, which was actually not officially part of the project description, because we had a link with a colleague in England at first. But we now have an ongoing collaboration with people in South Africa that now resulted in the first publication, which is in the next slide. But where are we right now? The amendment, so we had an original ethics application for our study. We now had to include the new amendment, which is now under review, under revision, I think, or maybe...
It's already reviewed, and we have a last little bit of questions which are handled by the secretary, so I don't expect anything.
So this will be done very quickly then, hopefully. So we will do another round of muscle biopsies, essentially in the biobank patients and the people that are part of the biobank. Hopefully also in more severe patients. We of course will not induce PEM in those patients, but we want to see also a different set of people that may be a little bit iller than we originally studied. So the question that we now set out to the patient representatives, can you help out with a protocol to take these measurements in the homebound situation? We also have a PEM leaflet in the making that's particularly meant for healthcare professionals, which is in the last round of revisions. We ask a company to look at this more specifically in terms of the writing and how to make it simple. We're waiting for input from representatives again on this. So those are the two tasks that are sort of ongoing with the patient representatives right now. And we have ongoing collaboration with the other NMCB mentioned. I do know that I have to make an appointment. The email is ready to be sent, Marianne. We did some measurements with you in Rotterdam for a student who finished his master project already, but we need to follow up, and it will be done. We did some brain experiments with the brain bank. We learned a lot, I would say, but wasn't very successful, right? Maybe not. Well, we can continue this, and there's also ongoing collaborations with Jeroen Niels and Melissa also, who is new to this group. We submitted a ME/CFS Horizon application with Charité and Bergen about autoimmunity as well. As I mentioned, the microclots project started off with a sort of a collaboration, and now actually resulted in a review article that was published this weekend. By the group of South Africa, and both Anouk and I are helped out with this particular review article about endothelial senescence as a driving factor for ME/CFS changes. So this is very new research that was published as part of this project. The other project that is ongoing still, but currently in review with a very nice journal, is the other PhD. So the other PhD student on this project is Braden, and he is submitting this hopefully next week back to this very nice journal. And I cannot talk you much more about this, but it will be out hopefully very soon because the reviews were very positive. So also this will be out soon. This is what I discussed before the lunch when other people were sitting in the room. But one of the major things that is happening in the next year in terms of dissemination of the results is a conference that I'm organizing, and I'll try to keep it short and more to the point in this case. I'm part of the World Health Network for Long COVID Research worldwide, and they decided to have to organize a conference here in Amsterdam on the 26th to 29th of August this year. We're still making the program, but we have 3 different tracks. We have a biomedical track, clinical track, and an impact track where we also really love to have input from patient representatives, patient organizations, but maybe also NMCB as a whole, as a biobank. Maybe we can also get exposure worldwide for this. The speakers that we have already accepted their invitations are listed here, and in very small print at the bottom is the current program, but there are still lots of gaps, so I'm also looking very much forward to any of your input, essentially, in terms of presentations, speakers, but also, of course, abstract submissions, because I think that's where the conference will be a success if we get a lot of your students presenting here. There will be also lots of spaces for oral presentations for students as well. I see lots of people looking at the screen, so I'm going to go very quickly through immune inflammation diagnostics, policy perspectives, post-exertional malaise, treatment options, etc. Yeah, I will share the slides with you at some point. I think this is it for me. Any questions?
Well, yeah. Yes. Thank you very much, Rob. Any questions for the research, Rob? And then maybe questions about the conference of Rob, the Rob conference. No, then we're going to the conference. So it will be here in Amsterdam, and are there specific symposia? Can you tell a little bit about that?
So currently, it's in the Museum het Hart, which is the old Hermitage along the Amstel. We have the whole building for those 3 days, of actually 4 days almost. There will be these are the parallel session. They have their own symposia, but we have more rooms than 3. So we have, I think, 5 or 6 breakout rooms, so we can actually have lots of additional sessions as well in the program if we really want to. And of course, if NMCB wants to have a specific session about, the biobank, etc., we can accommodate that.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I was thinking more about something to present about the research opportunities in the Netherlands broadly, NMCB, but other programs as well.
There are various abstract sessions, specific abstract sessions for also younger people to come.
Yeah.
So we will be selecting from the incoming abstracts. We select based on location, topic, etc.
And if you want to submit special symposia, for example, is that?
Talk to me.
Okay, good. and is there also a patient event?
Yeah, so patient events is a good point. So we have a specific session. We think we're going to have a session that will be hosted online as well, where we can give an update about the conference. So we have a sort of a 5 or 10 minutes short presentation about the topics that have been covered for patients. The conference itself is really aimed for scientists and clinicians. So the level of the talks is at the scientific level, so to say. We are considering having a special afternoon, maybe on the Saturday, which is Saturday 29th, or maybe the Sunday that's more specifically aimed for patients. But that really needs to also be a separate event to be organized, essentially. I see your question.
Thank you, Rob, and really a great achievement that you have organized this conference to be hosted in Amsterdam. And do think that the tracks that you show here are very promising. Do you think there is also within these tracks space for epidemiology studies on the changing epidemiology of pies, or do you need an extra track for that?
Yeah, so the epidemiology, so there is the keynote speaker, Ziad Ali, he's an epidemiologist, actually, he's presenting in the first evening. There's not a specific not a specific session about epidemiology. Again, if we want to have it in, it's possible, but then what is the problem is a little bit that if something goes in, something has to go out, or we have to have another parallel session. The problem that we have right now is that the rooms are currently 350, 200 and 200 or something. 80 is the third size room. After that, the rooms go down to a size of 50 or smaller, which essentially means that yes, we can have additional sessions, but it does mean that the rooms are going to be smaller, which can be good or can be bad. Online. Who? What? Sorry. If he pays for his registration, then maybe.
I may pay for. Am I not the penningmeester or something? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you already said it, but is it open to anyone to sign up or only researchers?
Yeah, so that is a difficult question to answer properly. The short answer is anyone can sign up. The problem is that there is a registration fee.